Would you like some good quality anime merch? Well, you can get that from our sponsor today, Beautiful Halo, link in the description below, and use code MEME for 5% off on your next $49 plus order, and on your next $99 plus order, you can get 10% off with code MEME. Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is what if Naruto had an ancient till beast part 3, and this is the finale. Yes, this will be the first what if I implement the 3-part series on. And since last time we left off with Naruto actually getting a gift from Falcon, and this was when Naruto was getting attacked by Itachi and Kisame. Yeah, there is a lot to cover within this part. Either it's going to be a really fast 1 hour part where I cover a ton of information over this 1 hour, or it's over an hour, at least 2 hours. And yeah, it is what it is. If it's 2 hours, you guys are just going to be even happier. But if it's and I'm going to have to record until 10 p.m. But if it's an hour, better for me, 9 p.m. But I cannot be asked recording till 10 p.m. I've been studying this whole time. Anywho, we begin with Naruto accepting the gift and realizing that he can use shadow release, which is basically the same technique that Shikamaru could do. And so Naruto, realizing that Kisame was walking towards him, then opened his eyes, and Kisame kind of got startled, but he kept walking. He's like, oh, kid, woke up. And basically Naruto's that you stay in your position or you'll die. And basically Kisame started laughing, and basically Naruto's like, alright then, shadow stitching jutsu. And basically the only reason Naruto knew this is because of basically he thought of this before he actually came out, and he knew how Shikamaru's shadow possession jutsu worked, and he thought, what if I could stab people with it? Anywho, yeah. So Naruto begins by doing that, and yeah, Kisame was pretty much paralyzed for the remainder of those little seconds that Naruto needed to actually go, literally jump him and kick him in the face. And this actually hurt Kisame quite a bit because Naruto's using a ton of chakra. And just saying, as I said before, Naruto's chakra got replenished by Falcon. And just saying, Falcon can replenish Naruto's chakra thousands of times. That's how much chakra she has. Anywho, Sasuke still arrives and still tries to kill Itachi, but of course Itachi strangling him, putting him under the Genjutsu, telling him that he's too weak and that he's not here for him and he's here for Naruto Uzumaki, and to get out of the way, throws him like a ragdoll, like in the original. And Naruto gets pretty pissed and basically tries to blitz Itachi, which basically Naruto really couldn't do anything to help Sasuke because Kisame actually stood up and he was actually attacking him. But Naruto actually body flicked Itachi and tried to slice him, saying how dare he hurt his friend. And basically Itachi was kind of happy that Sasuke is making friends, good friends, strong friends like Naruto, but he needs to get stronger, and right now he's just way too weak to even put up a little challenge against Itachi. But of course, Itachi, once he gets sliced, he actually turns into crows, which confuses Naruto, and Naruto really couldn't do anything. And basically this is when Kisame came out of nowhere and swung his sword like a freaking baseball bat and hit Naruto out of this of the little motel or hotel, whatever. Anywho, Naruto landed on a roof and literally said, God damn it, this is gonna be a hard one. And he knows that he can beat them, but it is what it is. And yeah, Naruto actually blitzes them, and blitzes Kisame because he knows he's the one that he can hit easily. And right before he hit him with his kunai to actually stab him, Kisame actually protected himself with his sword. Anywho, Naruto got blown back because Kisame actually swung his sword again. And just saying, remember, Naruto is literally knows the Rasengan here, and so Naruto actually being Naruto, body flickers behind Kisame and says Rasengan, screams out like a maniac, and basically hits Kisame around the back and not scorches, literally bruises Kisame, and Kisame is bleeding from the back and he's like, this damn brat. And basically, of course, by now, Guy actually arrived to the hotel room to see there's a hole in the wall, and sees Sasuke on the ground, picks up Sasuke, looks out the hole, and sees Naruto actually having to fight two of the Akatsuki members until Itachi, who looked to his left for a minute, saw a massive Rasengan, which was actually created by Jiraiya, and he got hit by it, but then actually turned into crows, and the Rasengan actually hit the ground, and kind of created a little crater. Little is an understatement. Anywho, Itachi then goes to Kisame saying that they have to escape. There's no way they can beat them, especially because look, there's Might Guy, who's and Jiraiya. So they escaped. Naruto basically went back into the hotel room with a hole in the freaking wall. Anywho, of course, Naruto explained everything that happened, and basically Jiraiya's that we need to move hotels, we need to find Tsunade quick, it's not safe for you, and basically Naruto's like, if they come back I'll destroy them next time, they only got lucky. And basically Kisame, man said Itachi Kisame, Jiraiya then says, no Naruto, you're not strong enough yet, even if you think you are, you're clearly not. And basically Naruto's like, are you assuming I'm weak? And basically Jiraiya's like, I'm not assuming, I'm telling you, you're weak against them. Remember, they are S-rank shinobi, literally hired to capture tail beasts. Do you really think you'll be able to beat them without even your tail beast strength? And basically Naruto is like, god damn it, if only he knew I could use 2 tail beast strength. But then Falcon actually then talked to Naruto, and she's like, no Naruto, even if you were able to use, even if you knew, you're still too weak. We will not give you any strength to verse them, unless it's really crucial. We cannot give it to you. You need to get strong on your own. You cannot depend on us. And Naruto's like, I know, but I really could have destroyed them. And Falcon's like, no, Naruto. As I said, you're not strong enough. They had secrets that you don't even know about. They had powers that you'll never know about. Maybe in the future, but as of right now, you do not know. And basically Naruto's like, if you know, why don't you tell me? And Falcon's like, Naruto, I cannot tell you. This is something you gotta learn on your own. And basically she's talking about the Mangekyo Sharingan and Kisame being known as the tailless tail beast. Remember, Falcon's been living for decades now. Not months of decades. For centuries now. And she already knows about Kisame since he was alive before Naruto was born. But it is what it is. Anywho, Naruto accepts the truth and basically is like, alright. Anywho, now Naruto and Jiraiya, in a few days, they find out where Tsunade was, and basically they ask her, but Tsunade badmouthed the Hokage, and Naruto was pretty pissed about this. So Naruto actually fought Tsunade, and in the end, Naruto put up an amazing fight against Tsunade, and was actually able to come close to beating her, but since Naruto was kind of injured from the fight against Kisame and Itachi, yes, Naruto did get injured. I know I didn't mention anything, but still, he got a few cuts, and especially losing chakra and everything, but still, it is what it is. And yeah, Tsunade then bets with him, saying that, just saying Naruto didn't use the Rasengan, he was actually about to, but she punched him in the gut, and Naruto actually screamed Rasengan, but as soon as he did that, Tsunade punched him in the gut, and he actually, the Rasengan actually stopped itself from being complete. Anywho, now Naruto still takes on the bet and basically then shows her that he can actually do a Rasengan, and he says that he has a little trick up his sleeve, and he actually adds wind release to it, and he doesn't make it into a Rasen Shuriken. It's something that he's been trying to make, but still wasn't able to, and he shows her that he has enough power to create a Rasengan with wind release, which is much stronger than a Rasengan, than a normal Rasengan for sure. Anywho, now Tsunade is like, damn, and so she actually goes back with Naruto, and yeah, of course, and Jiraiya, of course, and she becomes the 5th Hokage. Anywho, I am covering a lot. I really do not want to record for 2 hours. I am really tired. I want to sleep tonight. I want to sleep early around 11, and I still haven't read my webtoons. Anywho, allow it. This world's kind of fucked. Anywho, anywho, now Naruto and that has returned to the village actually meets with Sukome. Sukome missed him. Naruto missed her. Anywho, they have their little time together until basically Sasuke was actually being healed, and basically they go there. And once they arrive, Sasuke is already awake, and Naruto and Sukome greet him, and Itachi, basically then Sasuke is there. Naruto, Itachi was searching for you, right? And Naruto says, yes, I'm sorry you got involved in it. I really didn't mean to get you injured. And basically Naruto then sees Sasuke jumping towards him, and he started strangling him. And basically he's like, how dare you? How dare you? And basically Naruto's like, what did I do? And he was getting strangled now, like literally. And of course Sukome was worried, so she pulled Sasuke away. And basically Naruto's like, what the hell's wrong with you? And basically Sasuke's like, fight me, Naruto, fight me. And basically Naruto's like, why should I? What did I do? I didn't do anything. And basically Itachi's like, fight me right now or I'll kill you in the spot. And Naruto's like, do you really think you can kill me, Sasuke? I was trying to be a good friend and not fight you since you were injured. Why do you want to fight me in the first place? And basically Sasuke's like, do you really think I'm that weak? And Naruto says, I never said you're weak, unless you're too scared that you are weaker than me, and that's why you want to prove yourself, right? And basically Sasuke's like, shut up and come with me. And basically now Sasuke actually drags Naruto, and Naruto tries to stop him, but Sasuke actually used all his power, all his chakra, and Naruto really had no chance against stopping him, because Naruto really didn't want to hurt Sasuke since he knew he was injured, and so he just went along with it and thought that he could just beat him by not trying much. But Sasuke, even though he was in a coma, it doesn't mean his chakra wasn't replenishing. Anywho, Sasuke was fighting at full strength and Naruto was holding back, but then realizes that if he holds back he might actually die, and so he actually starts trying a bit. And Sukome was like, no Naruto, he's injured. And basically Naruto's like, you can clearly see he has enough chakra to kill me, Sukome. I cannot hold back. And basically Sukome is like, oh, god damn it. And basically, since no one really knows she has the Sharingan, she can't really stop it, because she knows that if she actually gets in the way, she might actually die, because these two are no joke, and she knows what true strength is. She's seen Naruto being pissed. She hasn't really, but still Naruto has strength beyond people's imagination, and she knows that Sasuke is pretty strong, and if she gets between these two, she might actually get annihilated. Anywho, of course, Naruto and Sasuke keep fighting until Naruto had enough, and he actually started using jutsus. For example, the fireball jutsu. Yes, Naruto can use it. Remember, Naruto's pretty freaking strong since he's been training with Sukome, and also Naruto hasn't used this technique against Sasuke, but I'm pretty sure I gave it to him. It's been a week since I recorded the last part, and I'm pretty sure I gave Naruto the flying Raijin. If I didn't, please tell me in the comments below. Of course, every what if that I do might get will get a remake sooner or later. Anywho, now Naruto, who teleports behind Sasuke. Sasuke was pretty confused. He's like, god damn you, Naruto, every time with your tricks. And basically he turns around with his Chidori to actually slice Naruto while he was doing it, but Naruto actually was able to barely dodge it. Even though his clothes got ripped, he was actually able to backflip and kick Sasuke on the chin. Sasuke went flying, and basically Naruto actually threw a kunai next to Sasuke, and what he did is that he kicked him in the chest, and not too hard, but hard enough to actually blow him into the roof. And basically there was just a little crater, not too big, just a little one. Just a little one. Anywho, Sasuke was pretty pissed, and basically Kakashi actually arrived, and he's like, what are you doing, Naruto? And Naruto's like, listen, if I didn't do this one was gonna kill me. And basically Kakashi's like, what's going on here, Sasuke? Tell me. And basically Sasuke's like, shut up, Kakashi, you don't know anything. And basically he goes off on his own, and basically Naruto's like, god damn it, Sasuke, what's going on? And basically Kakashi's like, don't worry, Naruto. Sukome, you don't have to worry either. I know you're worried for both of your teammates. I'll fix this. And basically he goes off on his own, and still ties up Sasuke, and like in the original, this happens.
What's this all about?
Sorry, but I knew you wouldn't want to sit still for a lecture, so I figured I had to pin you down. Let it go. You've got to forget about revenge.
What?
Believe me, in this work I've met a lot of guys who feel the way you do. Trust me, for those who follow the path of revenge, it never ends well. You'll only tear yourself apart. And even if you succeed and you get your revenge, what will you have then? Nothing. Emptiness.
Shut up! What makes you think you know anything about it? It's easy for you to talk. You have no idea!
Easy. Just try to calm down.
Maybe if I was to kill the most important people in your life, everyone who's ever meant anything, maybe then I'd listen to you. Because maybe then you'd have some idea how I feel.
It's an interesting theory, but I'm afraid you're a little late to put it to the test.
Yeah, so after Kakashi says that, he unties Sasuke, and Sasuke goes off on his own and starts training. Of course, Sasuke still gets still has the Sound Four come up to him and ask him if he wants power, and Sasuke says yes, but how can I get it? And basically the lad, just come with us, we'll show you where to get power from Orochimaru. And he's like, sharp, Orochimaru can't do anything. And basically they show him the Curse Mark 2 state, and basically he's intrigued. Anywho, Sasuke goes off on his he decides to go with the Sound 4, but Naruto, he was actually pretty worried about Sasuke, and he knows where Sasuke's usual training spots are. Goes on, and he wants to go there and wants to apologize for Naruto being so like aggressive or anything, and he wants to propose training with him so he can get stronger with Naruto, and over time they will be able to become rivals and everything, and he will teach him different techniques that he knows and he could actually benefit from. But he couldn't find him anywhere, and Naruto was kind of getting worried because Sasuke just got out of the hospital. Not only did Naruto himself injure him because he needed to protect himself, but now he couldn't find him. And basically he actually asked Sukome for help, and Sukome and Naruto searched the whole entire village, and this was around like 10 p.m. So it didn't take too long. Naruto had sealing formulas everywhere, and he teleported everywhere around it. Sukome actually followed after him with the, but they couldn't find him, and then basically Naruto asked Falcon to just increase his sensory abilities for a minute, and basically Falcon's like, yeah, sure, okay. And basically Naruto did it, and he couldn't sense Sasuke's chakra. This worried Naruto, so he actually went around the gates and saw that a few fresh footsteps outside the village, and he followed them, and basically he actually found himself up against Sound 4, and basically Sukome was actually behind him, and Naruto and Sukome sneaked out. Of course, now Naruto and Sukome have to go up against Sound 4, and this is a lot different from the original. I'm not going to make anything the same. Anywho, I have to cover Shippuden as well. It's going to be so long. Anywho, now Naruto and Sukome are following the Sound 4, and Sound 4 realize this, and basically it's nighttime. So the fight against Sound 4s actually begin with Naruto and Sukome being together. Anywho, Naruto and Sukome actually go up against Jirobo, and they have no mercy upon him, and they annihilate him pretty fast, less than 10 minutes. At first they were kind of confused, and basically Jirobo, once they started getting the hang of the Curse Mark 1 Jirobo, they were about to annihilate him until he went Curse Mark 2, which took them a bit more time, and around another 5 minutes they destroyed him. 10 minutes on the dot. Anywho, then was Tayuya. Tayuya was a different one, which she was really agile and everything, and her flute was goddamn annoying, which Naruto then actually teleported next to her out of nowhere. And this was like, Tayuya went Curse Mark 2 straight away, because if they fought Jirobo and destroyed him in 10 minutes, there's no way she can beat them so easily, especially because Jirobo is a strong opponent. Anywho, Naruto teleports next to her, and she's still using her flute, which is kind of disrupting Sukome. And Naruto actually kicks the flute and breaks it. And basically, then Sukome says, "I've had enough of you, you annoying little B word." And basically, I don't want to say it. I would say it, but yeah, I wouldn't. Anywho, because I don't know what ages are watching me, and I don't want to teach them anything bad. Anywho, Sukome activates her Sharingan and actually blitzes her and puts her under her Genjutsu, and then basically Naruto's she's had enough, and basically Sukome let her out, and Naruto just threw a kunai into her skull, and Tayuya was annihilated. Naruto now, Naruto and Sukome now went off to find Sasuke, and they were actually really far behind by now. Tayuya was a confusing opponent, and she was a hard one to fight. And since she started straight from Curse Mark 2, it took them double the time. And 20 minutes is a long time, especially for Sanford, who were actually going at normal speeds, but now they're going full speeds. And just saying, of course, the chase will be longer, and much more frustrating for Sukome and Naruto, because they will not be able to catch up to the Sound 4, the Sound 2 now, because they have been 20 minutes ahead, and even Naruto and Sukome using full speeds, they cannot reach them because they actually went into Curse Mark 2 to actually go even faster. And Naruto doesn't know about this. He doesn't know about them going to Curse Mark 2. So Kimimaru and sorry, not Kimimaru, Kidomaru and Sakon and Ukon actually make a much more the chase much harder for Naruto and Sukome. So by morning time, Naruto and Sukome are still following them. Naruto can actually feel them in front of them, and they've actually been able to catch up to them because Kidomaru and Sakon and Ukon actually decided to go off the curse marks states to recover chakra. They haven't lost too much, especially because they're only using speed, but still they need the chakra in case they get caught eventually. I'm just saying, by this time Naruto already sent the clone back to the village and basically asked for reinforcements, and basically Tsunade's like, "You idiot, why did you go alone?" Basically Naruto's like, "Listen, I wasn't really trying to chase them down. I just thought, let me check outside the village until a certain point, and I went pretty fast until I saw these four, and basically I've been chasing them, and I feel Sasuke's chakra inside the barrel that they're carrying." And basically of course a retrieval team is actually made, which is Shikamaru, Choji, Shino, Neji, Kiba. Since Naruto's not there, Shino replaces Naruto, and Naruto's already ahead. And Sukome, using a Sharingan a lot, actually started to strain on her. Remember, Sukome is an Uchiha still, but of course she will still have the chakra draining issues if she uses it too much. And just saying, Sukuma actually has the Mangekyo Sharingan, if I didn't mention that before. If I didn't, I'm so sorry, I'm an idiot. Anywho, the only reason she got it is because of the pain she had to go through once basically I've explained it before, I'm pretty sure. And if not, she unlocked the Mangekyo Sharingan once basically Madara actually tried to make her hate the Leaf Village for what happened to her parents by showing her a genjutsu of what really happened. But of course she actually awakened it, but she still didn't hate the Leaf, because those were only the Leaf villages, and the only reason they killed her father and mother were because they were actually part of Madara Uchiha's family, and Madara Uchiha did some bad stuff after she found out. At first she hated them, but then she actually realized why, and the Leaf actually had their own reasons to, and it made sense why they would do it, because it's dangerous to let people like her father and her mother live, especially with the fear that they might become like Madara, and they cannot allow that because Madara caused a lot of havoc back in the days. Anywho, now Sukuma deactivated the Sharingan, which made her a bit slower, but Naruto said it's fine, I'll try to stop one of them. And basically Kidomaru actually decided to stay back and basically buy them time, because they need to bring back Sasuke. And just saying, right now is literally the time where the Sasuke retrieval team was already separated. That's how long it took for Naruto and Sukome. And this is a really frustrating moment, because Kidomaru is actually a really strong opponent, and the Sasuke retrieval team actually went at full speeds, and they were actually able to already make three-quarters of the journey, because Naruto was leading them and telling them to go faster and faster, and they were using a ton of chakra. Of course, they were actually able to do a lot of it because they didn't have any distractions, and Naruto was leading them, and well, the clone was leading them, and Naruto, of course, knew the way. Anywho, and plus there weren't any Jirobo and Tayuya to stop them at first. Anyways, now Naruto and Sakome are fighting Kidomaru, but of course Naruto has enough of it and throws a kunai in front of Kidomaru and basically teleports to it, and Kidomaru's like, big mistake, and already has an arrow ready. But Naruto says, well, I guess it's your loss, because basically Kidomaru's like, huh? And Naruto teleports behind him, kicks him in the back of the neck, which actually paralyzes Kidomaru temporarily, and just saying, yes, that can happen, but but sometimes it can actually paralyze you permanently. And if you're about to hit someone, do not hit them at the back, on the back of the neck. Why would you even hit someone? Anywho, so Naruto actually kicked him in the back of the neck, and Sakome said, you little spider, you deserve this. And basically what she does is that she uses the fire style fire style majestic destroyer flame. I completely forgot the name there. I had to search up real quick. I don't know why I forgot it. Anywho, now was what? Anywho, Naruto and Sakome were able to finish off Kidomaru, but Sakome actually started feeling pain in her eyes, and same as her chakra resources. Even though she has a lot of chakra, she's lost a lot of it because she was using body flick. She used a lot of chakra, having the Sharingan activated to keep up with Naruto's speed. But it is what it is. Naruto tells Sakome that he'll take care of the rest, and he doesn't want her to get hurt anymore. And basically Naruto says it's my fault, and that Sasuke left anyways. I'll bring him back, I promise it to you. And basically Sakome's like, no, I'm coming with you. But this time the Sasuke retrieval team actually arrived, and basically Shikamaru shouted at Naruto for not telling the Hokage first, and Naruto says, I already explained it to you, because Naruto's clone actually proved away, and Naruto understood everything. And then basically he said, alright guys, we'll have to go I have an idea. And basically he creates a plan to ambush Sakura and Ukon. And basically Sakome wasn't meant to be in it, but Sakome kept saying that she's not as weak as Naruto thinks she is, and Naruto says, I don't think you're weak. Anywho, Naruto just said that he doesn't want her to get hurt, and basically Sakome is like, I don't care if I get hurt. Sasuke is my teammate, and you know that for yourself, and I know you'd do anything to bring him back. And basically Naruto's like, yes, but I'll do anything to let you to not hurt you. And basically Sakome is that sharp and let me in. And basically Naruto's like, alright then, but don't blame me after you get hurt. And basically Naruto wasn't gonna let her get hurt in the first place. If she got hurt, he was actually going to come back himself and annihilate the one that was going to get hurt her. Anywho, Naruto actually arrived in front of Sakura and Ukon, and basically he's like, Naruto's like, stop right now and give back Sasuke. And basically Sakura and Ukon were like, too late, Sasuke already woke up and went on his own. I just wanted to trick you to come this way. And Naruto's like, wait, what? And basically everyone actually ambushed the Sakura and Ukon, and basically Naruto's like, it's too late, Sasuke went. And basically Sakome is like, then you go, you have sensory abilities, you're the best one to find Sasuke, and you're strong, and you're the strongest here with the most chakra, so go, Naruto. And Naruto's like, I can't let you guys alone. And basically Sakome is like, don't worry, Naruto, I'm not going to hold back anything, and I'm not going to hide my true identity from anyone anymore. And Naruto's eyes widen, and he's like, wait, what? And basically Sakome actually shows everyone that she's an Uchiha, and now basically Naruto's like, alright then, I trust you, and basically goes off on his own to find Sasuke. Anywho, Naruto, who's actually pretty worried, really doesn't have the time for it, because he trusts Sakome. Sakome's judgment is much greater than his, because he believes Sakome is much stronger than himself, because they never really had a truly, like, literally bloodthirsty fight, because Sakome is pretty much bloodlusted, because she wants to rest. Anywho, now yes, she wants a rest and she wants to kill people to get a rest. I'd do that too. Anywho, I wouldn't. Now, Naruto, who's actually heading towards Sasuke's location, actually gets intercepted by another guy, and you may know him as Kimimaru. And Naruto was like, wait, what? Hold up. Yo, allow it, please. Just let me through, man. I'm just trying to get my friend back, man. Just let me through. Anywho, now Naruto's and Kimimaru's fight actually begins, and yeah, of course it begins with Naruto actually going on the aggressive this time and literally going with a Rasengan straight to Kimimaru's face, but Kimimaru was able to actually dodge it easily, literally 1 frame away, boom, dodge. My guy's on 2 million frames a second, yeah, and then kicks Naruto in the guts, and from his knee, a bone actually spawned and literally impaled Naruto in the stomach, in the guts, and basically Kimimaru then flips around and kicks Naruto in the face, and Naruto went flying with a bone inside his stomach, through his stomach, and Naruto realized that he's losing too much blood, and Naruto actually was starting to lose consciousness, and so he actually took the bone out of his stomach and then looked at Kimimaru with a tired look, because Naruto hasn't got any sleep and he's losing blood quickly, and of course Falcon and both Kurama actually start healing him at the same time, and bleeding stops, and Naruto actually gets his basically all of his tiredness gets healed by Falcon, but of course Naruto goes on the aggressive again, and Falcon tells Naruto to stop, but Naruto was too late to actually hear Falcon, and so he tried to actually kick Kimimaru first, but then Kimimaru actually was able to flex around him, literally flex around Naruto, and then kick him in in the back, in his spine, and literally spawn another bone from the heel of his foot, and literally impale Naruto with that, and Naruto got impaled again, and so now this time Naruto, this time before the tail beast could heal him, Naruto then tells them no, not to do this. Naruto can handle this on his own, and basically what he does next is something that Kimimaru was not expecting, but he makes a ton of clones and they all attack Kimimaru at the same time, and Kimimaru was actually getting rid of them at a monstrous speed, literally 2 every second. But of course Naruto wasn't doing well. He didn't actually make those clones for just trying to overpower Kimimaru. It was just to distract him while he was getting ready to do his ultimate technique, which then he threw out of nowhere, and literally went through all the shadow clones and annihilated them, and you guys may know it as the Rasen Shuriken, which Kimimaru really had no time to actually dodge, and this was actually really nerfed. It was actually a smaller version of it, and it was like a medium-sized one, and Kimimaru gets hit right in the stomach with it and goes flying, and basically the same thing that happened to Kakazu happened to Kimimaru, and Kimimaru got annihilated. Of course, Lee arrives to help out the Sasuke retrieval team, since Naruto is actually this time not all the Lee actually saw all of them fighting Sakon and Ukon. Anywho, Naruto then goes off on his own to find Sasuke, and actually catches up to Sasuke and tells him to stop. And basically Sasuke is a sharp, you damn loser, and basically goes off on his own again, and Naruto actually was able to up his speed, and just saying, Naruto was actually able to stop the bleeding with his own chakra, not the tail beasts, and the tail beasts were like, Naruto, let us heal you, and basically Naruto said, no, I got this, I can do it on my own, and basically Falcon's like, don't get cocky, Naruto, only because you've gotten a bit stronger, it doesn't mean you'll be able to beat Sasuke, and after that beating you just took, and Naruto's like, it's not that I'm being cocky, it's because I don't want to always depend on you guys whenever I'm hurt. And basically this is literally what Falcon told Naruto to not do, depend on them, because one day he might not be able to use their powers. And basically Falcon kind of regrets it now, because she didn't really mean it. The only reason she was doing it is because she wanted Naruto to get stronger on his own, but he was already doing that before he even met them. But it is what it is now. Naruto has a different mindset, which Falcon didn't want. Literally Naruto's mindset is literally not to use the Tail Beast's powers at all, while Falcon actually wanted Naruto to use the Tail Beast's powers to change the world. But now Naruto's mindset is changed and is completely different, and Naruto has different ideals than Falcon wanted him than the ones Falcon wanted him to have. Falcon wanted Naruto to change the world with the power of the Tail Beast, to show the people around the world that the Tail Beasts are not as harmful as they seem to be. They're just really big and strong. But of course, Naruto now wants to show them that the Tail Beasts aren't weapons, because Naruto wants to become the strongest in the world without even using the Tail Beast chakra. And basically that's Naruto's goal. But of course his true goal is still to well, of course his ninja way is the same, so he still want world peace, of course. Anywho, now Naruto was actually able to stop Sasuke, and Sasuke is like, alright then, if you want to die so bad, let's fight Naruto. And basically Naruto's like, huh, you really think you can beat me easily? And basically Sasuke is like, I'm not going to beat you, I'm going to kill you easily. And basically Naruto then's like, then bring it on Sasuke. And both Kurama and Falcon tell Naruto not to fight. There's no need, they'll help him. And basically Naruto just literally blocks them out, and basically Falcon realizes that it's all her fault. If Naruto dies here, not only will Kurama have to wait a few decades to actually come back, even though she doesn't have that liability, still she's going to be responsible of Naruto's death and kind of Kurama's death in quotation marks. Basically Kurama's slumber, because Kurama's going to be in a slumber basically. Anywho, she doesn't want this to happen, and she wants to take over Naruto's body, but Naruto really doesn't need any of the Tail Beast's chakras right now. Of course Naruto, who has been losing a ton of blood before being able to stop it with his own chakra, because the Tail Beasts can stop it immediately, while Naruto takes a while. Still, Naruto was able to stop it eventually, and this was due to him using a ton of chakra that he had reserved for the fight of Sasuke against Sasuke. But now it's most of it's been used for healing. So Naruto had near enough 80% of his chakra after after the fight against Kimimaro and killing Kimimaro. But now he only has 15% of it, because of the amount of blood he lost. And the more blood he lost, at the same time he was losing chakra, and the more chakra he used to actually stop the blood contributed to his chakra loss. Anywho, the fight against Naruto and Sasuke begins. It commences, and Naruto having the upper hand right now, because Sasuke is still in just his base form, and Naruto is fighting pretty much right now he's like 50% of his strength, because if he uses any less chakra, he's probably going to die even against base Sasuke. But then Sasuke, realizing that he just doesn't care about Naruto and doesn't want to test his strength against him from base, he's just going to go all out, and he's going to make Naruto go all out as well. And yeah, so he does, and Naruto realizes that he's pretty much effed. He can't even do a Rasen Shuriken right now because of the amount of chakra he's lost, and he's like, oh yeah, well, I guess I gotta do this or I die. Yeah, so yeah, Naruto actually tries his best to keep up with Curse Mark 2 Sasuke, but Curse Mark 2 Sasuke is literally using lightning style all around him, and just saying this Sasuke is the strongest Sasuke ever. Anywho, basically every time they step on the water, you know how droplets of water actually go up in the air? Yeah, Sasuke uses those to his advantage. As soon as Naruto actually stomps on the water, or literally jumps on the water by actually dodging a move of Sasuke's, and he takes that to his advantage and uses lightning release, and basically he says lightning style, lightning net, and basically Naruto realizes that he just effed up, and he's about to get electrocuted. Anywho, Naruto gets electrocuted and realizes that he's paralyzed, and basically Sasuke sees that Naruto already had a wound in his chest, so he just stabs him through the chest again, and this time with the Chidori, and Naruto literally is on the brink of death, and Falcon's like, that's enough, Naruto. And basically Naruto realizes that there's no other way. If he dies here, he's gone. And basically Falcon, even though she has a ton of power, Naruto's body is literally in a state that she cannot actually give him too much chakra, because the healing is going to take a while. Even for Falcon, she cannot heal him straight over because of Naruto's massive wound. It has to heal bit by bit, so Naruto has to fight gradually, and gradually he will get stronger. So yeah, Naruto realizes that, and basically Naruto has a cloak, and he's already One-Tails, and really it shouldn't be One-Tails, but Kurama is actually boosting the cloak at the same time, and Falcon's like, Kurama, there's no need for you to strain your body for this. And basically Kurama's like, alright then, and basically Naruto's One-Tail cloak just goes into nothingness, and literally it's just Naruto, and he opens his eyes, and basically even though he's healing, Falcon's literally healing him and giving him chakra at the same time. Naruto opens his eyes and barely has any chakra. He literally has 10% of his chakra left. Of course, he's getting boosted by Falcon, so he will always stay at 10%. Naruto literally made this so that Falcon cannot give him a chakra boost. He will just stay at 10% forever. So Naruto cannot use too many strong techniques, but he has enough to use a few Rasenkans and that. And since he will always stay at 10%, every time he goes to 0, it just comes back to 10. He pretty much has 100%, but he's still, even with 10%, he cannot make a Rasen Shuriken, that's for sure. So Naruto cannot use like his OP killer moves. Anywho, Naruto starts fighting Sasuke literally on par with Sasuke, and just saying, Naruto would have actually been stronger if just he used Falcon's strength, but Naruto has a plan in his head. Anywho, Naruto, since he's able to use all 5 chakra natures, he's been using them, and he's actually realized that he can use 3 flying Raijins, and he'll still have 3% of his chakra remaining. And so just saying, the flying Raijin takes that amount of chakra, because Naruto's chakra control is already distorted, so it's harder for him to do any technique that has less chakra drain. And so this is why Naruto is literally in a pickle. He's gone. If he makes any mistakes here, Sasuke will take the advantage and just decapitate him if you have to. Anywho, Naruto actually sees an opening and throws a kunai, which Sasuke really didn't notice, and teleports there and Rasengan's Sasuke on the hip, and Sasuke went flying. This actually hurt Sasuke, and just saying, like I said before, getting hit in the hip is deadly, fam. I got kicked in the hip and I was dying, fam. My guy, I needed to piss so hard after. I don't even know why. Anywho, it hurts a lot. Do not, like, if you're about to get kicked somewhere, if you're a guy, do not let it happen to your, you know, your diamonds and that, and your hip. And if you're a woman, just don't get kicked. Anywho, now Naruto, realizing that this is his chance, he actually gets ready to use the fireball jutsu, but Sasuke actually turns into a log, and Naruto realizes that he's been baited. And then out of nowhere, Sasuke actually uses the same technique that he used against Orochimaru. And the only reason Sasuke knew how to do this is because he's actually way stronger than the actual original Sasuke, and he has actually got a lot more training, especially with Tsukume and Naruto. Anywho, Naruto gets stabbed from a long-range Chidori blade, and realizes that Sasuke is much stronger than he thought, and basically Sasuke smirks and says, I told you, do not underestimate me, Naruto. I'm way stronger than you now. And basically literally literally flings Naruto up in the air, and Naruto, realizing that Falcon cannot heal him anymore because the link is gone, he's going to die. Of course, Sasuke actually comes in front of him and literally elbows Naruto in the face, and Naruto went literally Naruto went plumbing down into the actual Valley of the End, and actually hitting Madara's face. Yes, out of all of the Madara's face, and basically Naruto actually falls face first into the water, and then looks literally turns around because he's suffocating, and then we see Sasuke comes in, literally flying from the sky, and literally jumps into Naruto, literally jumps on, well, literally feet into wound. Yes, that's how like Broly did to Goku in the first Broly movie. Yes, like that, how he's just started jumping on Goku like it was some kind of trampoline. Sasuke did the same thing, just that he didn't keep jumping, he just jumped once, literally just landed on Naruto, and Naruto lost consciousness. And basically Sasuke's like, I'm going to let you survive out of mercy, Naruto, only because you are my friend. I'm sorry, my one and only friend, but this is necessary. And basically just drops his headband onto Naruto's wound, and he just covers Naruto's wound, and basically then Sasuke just leaves. Anywho, Sasuke, right before he left, he realized that his Curse Mark 2 state was actually about to run out, and if Naruto actually didn't get baited by that, he was probably going to lose, because he really didn't have much chakra left. And even though he was able to use the Chidori lightning blade, blade, it was something that didn't really drain too much chakra, and realized that if Naruto was able to fight for another just one more minute, it was going to be all over. Sasuke was going to be annihilated. Anywho, Sasuke goes off on his own, and Naruto, who wasn't even being healed, realized that he's about to die. Of course, Naruto's in his mindscape. Falcon's calling out to him, Chroma's calling out to him, and basically Naruto actually falls into a deep slumber. Of course, Naruto wakes up 2 weeks later. A full 2 weeks have passed, and the only reason Naruto actually woke up is because Sukome actually was able to arrive to Naruto's aid with Kakashi. Yes, they were able to beat Sakon and Ukon, because Sakon and Ukon actually not too strong, and also the San Trio siblings actually came to help out after hearing that the Leaf needed help. And basically they came straight away, because Naruto is actually on this mission, and Gaara's like, nah, I won't let my friend Naruto die. And basically Sukome actually saw Naruto waking up, and Naruto was looking out the window. He's like, I guess I'm back in the Leaf. And basically Sukome, who just walked in, went and literally jumped onto Naruto and said, Naruto, you okay? And basically Naruto says, yeah, I'm fine, but of course he's still hurt. And basically Tsunade then walks in a minute later and sees them two hugging, and basically she's like, hey Naruto, listen, you reckless little piece of damned shit. Yes. And basically she starts scolding him, saying that if you just told her in advance, this wouldn't have happened. You two wouldn't have had to solo half the full sound full, and you could have actually got reinforcements from the beginning, and you could have easily brought back Sasuke. And Naruto says, no, even if we were able to beat the sound full easily, there was someone else that could have killed all of us. And basically she's like, what do you mean? And basically Naruto's like, it was Kimimaru. If I didn't use my ultimate technique on him, it was going to be all over for me and all of us. And if I didn't use it and I was able to beat him, I would have definitely brought back Sasuke, especially because he was the one who actually wounded me at the beginning twice, and I was bleeding out. That's why the whole fight against Sasuke was with me having a hole in my chest. And basically she asks how big the hole was, and basically Naruto says around like 3 fingers put together, really skinny fingers, and put on top of each other, that thick. But basically then Tsunade says, well, you're wrong, Naruto. The hole in your chest was because 2 hands. And basically Naruto's like, wait, what? And that Naruto didn't realize, because he was already in so much pain that he couldn't even feel the pain. Naruto literally lost all feelings after the amount of pain he just went through. And his ways, of course, then Naruto gets explains that Sasuke did do this and that. And now Jiraiya actually walks in and says, Naruto, I need to talk to you in private. And Sukome really didn't want to leave, but Jiraiya asked politely for Sukome to leave. And just saying, everyone knows that now Sukome is an Uchiha, because Sukome actually used the Mangekyo Sharingan. And just saying, the only reason they actually won, not only because Lee actually arrived and the Sand Tree arrived right after Lee, and it's mostly because Sakon and Ukon were actually having an upper hand, because they didn't have much intel on him. And yeah, the only reason Sukome actually went all out, because she was too frustrated and she wasn't able to wait to see Naruto with Sasuke back. Basically she was worried about Naruto and Sasuke, most about Naruto, to be honest. And basically she used her Mangekyo Sharingan abilities, and she basically used her Susanoo to just slice Sakon and Ukon in half. And basically then the rest had just finished them off, incinerated them, literally pulverized them. Anywho, now Naruto talks to Jiraiya, and Jiraiya gives the speech just as in the original. What the hell was that? Anywho, roll it in. Thank you to Words Beyond Fiction. Love that man. Like, I get these quotes from him. Go subscribe to Words Beyond Fiction. He has way more subs than me, way more views than me. He deserves them. Anywho, let's go.
Forget about Sasuke. He's gone. Sasuke went to Orochimaru of his own free will. No matter what you do, he will not change.
But Sasuke is...
Trust me, you should just forget about bringing him back. It's the tragic path of self-righteous fools.
He may mean nothing to you, pervy sage, but Sasuke is my friend!
Can you honestly call him a friend? Just look at what he's done to you.
It's...
He was destined to leave sooner or later. Don't blame yourself. Dismiss him from your mind and move on. To be a ninja, you need more than strength and jutsu. You must acquire the judgment to make the right decisions. If you want to live as a ninja, you must become smarter. This world is no place for a fool. That's the reality.
I understand. If being smarter means what you say it does, I'll remain a fool my entire life.
Anywho, after this little dialogue, Naruto, well, of course, Jiraiya still tells Naruto about the Akatsuki and says maybe you're a fool, you might be a fool, but you're really strong, that's for sure. And I believe maybe your own ways will bring the peace that the child of prophecy should have brought. And basically, Naruto's a child of prophecy, and basically Jiraiya explains about the child of prophecy, the prophecy about the child of prophecy, and the prophecy about the calamity that's going to happen in the world, and the prophecy that the child of prophecy will stop the calamity and bring peace to the world. Anywho, there were a lot of prophecies. Anywho, now Naruto understands and accepts, and of course, Sukome, man said Sukome actually overheard the whole conversation. She was eavesdropping, and Tsunade really didn't mind it, and she's like, I already know what's gonna happen. And basically, Sukome is like, I wanna go too, and basically Naruto's like, I'm sorry Sukome, but I cannot bring you into danger. I cannot put you into danger again. Never again. I'll never do it again. And basically Sukome is like, I'm not that weak, Naruto. And Naruto's like, it's not that. I do not want you to just be in danger because of me. And basically Sukome is like, but I'm against the Akatsuki as well, remember my grandfather. And basically they're like, what? And basically Sukome has to explain to everything to everyone. Naruto already knew, but still. Anywho, they understood. And basically Tsunade is like, if you're the granddaughter of Madara and I am the granddaughter of Hashirama, how about I train you, Sukome? Maybe you'll be strong enough after my training. And basically Sukome is like, what do you mean strong enough? And basically she's like, not strong enough, you learn more things. And basically Naruto's like, maybe you should. She is a legendary Sannin. And basically Sukome is not doubtful that she can't learn from her, but she's like, I'm weak. Is that what you're saying? And basically Tsunade's like, no, you're not weak. You're a bit weaker than me still, but it's not, it's a lie. Anywho, Sukome accepts the offer, and yeah, of course, now Naruto leaves and Sukome starts her training, and we will have a 2-year time skip because I need to cover Naruto Shippuden as fast as possible because it's 11 o'clock and I want to sleep, guys. Anywho, of course, Naruto during this 2-year training, what he learns is that he learns the Master Rasengan, he learns the Rasen Shuriken sorry, the Fast Star Rasen Shuriken, yes, the Blazing Rasen Shuriken. Also, he learns the Fireball Rasengan. Same as Jiraiya learns all of them, just like Naruto. But Naruto, since he has other teachers, for example, Naruto has actually unlocked Ice Release, so he can use Ice Release like a master now. Also, he has unlocked Lava Release during this time because Falcon gave it to him. Also, he's unlocked since he has Shadow Release, he can actually use Shadow Release without even doing any hand seals. So he can just have his hands in his pocket just like Sanjin do and be like, yeah, go on, Shadow Stitching Jutsu and stitch people up. Anywho, now Naruto comes back to the village 2 years later, and just saying, during this time skip, Tsuki's actually gone way stronger. She knows how to use her Mangekyo Sharingan perfectly. Just that she realized that she's going blind, and the only way she can actually get the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan is to find Madara's body and somehow take his eyes, which is kind of impossible since they turned into the Rinnegan. But of course, there will be other ways, because Tsuki, remember, as I said, Sukome, as I said, she has some things that, of course, happened in the Chunin exams. Remember the wood style thing, or maybe it was the other one, but I'll say that she still implanted the wood style, the Hashirama cells, and so she is more related to Tsunade now, but still, now she's actually much stronger, and it actually regenerates her vision, and that's only plot armor, please, guys. Like, I don't want to make the series boring, and she can be kind of OP with wood release. Anywho, Naruto returns, and now Naruto, who has returned, he sees Sukome into a grown woman, and remember, she has white hair, and I will be putting that picture up again, the ice queen of Konoha, apparently. That's what I found online, anyway, whatever. Now, of course, the first arc of Naruto begins as per normal, and Naruto gets kind of pissed, but Sukome actually calms him down. Remember, Sukome is like literally Naruto's wife basically right now. No, I'm joking. They're still boyfriend and girlfriend because they're still only 16, but still, Naruto and Sukome actually decided to move in together, and some things have been happening with Jiraiya and Tsunade. You know, the ship is happening, and I will that will keep going. Anywho, now Naruto, who has been blitzing past, and just saying, they take the bell test again, just saying, just as per normal with the Sakura and Naruto. Sukome and Naruto take the bell test, and just saying, Sukome has been helping Kakashi actually master using his Mangekyo Sharingan, since he doesn't have any repercussions, just like her now. And just saying, Sukome will get the the perfect Susanoo in a different way. I won't say how, it will be a different way. Anywho, now Naruto actually had the test with the Kakashi, but Kakashi actually used Kamui, and Naruto actually wanted to finish the fight off with a flashy move by scaring off Kakashi and making Kakashi actually run, literally escape from this attack, and Naruto taking the bells right at that moment. But still, Kakashi just literally whooped away Naruto's Rasen Shuriken, and Sukome is like, I've been trying to tell you, but you were too fast. And basically Naruto's like, god damn, he's strong. And basically Kakashi is actually near enough pain level arc. Yes, no, he's actually a bit stronger than pain level arc. Yeah, that's a pain level arc, pain arc Kakashi. Anywho, now Naruto and Sukome and Kakashi head off to the sand village as per normal, and Sukome will be the healer here. So Naruto and Sukome arrive at the sand village, and Naruto's a bit more cool-headed because Sukome assures him that they will be able to save Gaara, and just saying that's not true. Anywho, of course, Chiyo still walks in and realizing that there's a new healer in town, and basically she actually created an antidote to Sasori's poison, and she was actually surprised, and she's like, so you must be Tsunade's student if you're able to do this. And basically she's like, exactly, I am. And basically then she's like, so you guys are leave Shinobi, I wonder why you're helping the sand. After all, we've been at war for years. And basically Naruto's like, so what if we have it's a new generation, and the sand and the leaf are good partners now. And basically Chiyo's like, yeah, if only that could have happened earlier. And basically she only has a grudge against them because her son and daughter-in-law died because of the leaf sand, and sorcery kind of went rogue because of them, because the leaf, and basically the war between the leaf, his parents' death literally led to sorcery actually joining the Akatsuki and everything, and him turning out like that. Anywho, now Naruto is still worried about Gaara, and this time him and Sukome actually go top speed, same as Kakashi, and Chiyo can barely keep up, so Kakashi actually carries on his back, which isn't no problem, but still Kakashi's like, damn, they were pretty fast, to be honest. And basically, Kakashi, just by being able to keep up with these two body flicker monsters, it just shows, it just shows how fast and how efficient he's gotten with his ninjutsus and everything. Anywho, Kakashi is even stronger. Like, he's double the strength just by training with Sukome. And Sukome and Kakashi are like master and student as well. But of course, Naruto is just as important for their team, and just as an important student. Anywho, now, of course, it still takes 3 days altogether to find Gaara. And by the time Naruto actually finds the hideout and basically just Rasen Shurikens the hell out of the door, still, it was just a bit too late. It was actually just like 10 minutes after Gaara's sealing thing was over. And yeah, Deidara and Sasori were about to leave until they heard this commotion. And basically they look behind them, and basically Naruto screams out, "Gaara, where are you?" And basically he sees Gaara's body, and basically Sasori orders Deidara to escape, and she's like, "Deidara, go." And basically Deidara's like, "How about you, Sasori?" And Sasori's like, "Don't worry about me, go." And basically Deidara's like, "Alright then," and he heads off, and Naruto actually sees this, that he's heading off with Gaara's body, and he's like, "You there, stop right now." And basically he couldn't stop him. He was too enraged to actually keep in mind that his reaction time needs to be on point in case they try to escape, and it was too late. Sasori escaped, and Naruto literally Naruto's asshole actually appeared after Sasori actually left. I mean, Deidara left. Anywho, Sasori is like, "So what are you gonna do? Chase after your friend's body or fight me?" And basically Chiyo's like, "Sasori, why are you doing this?" And basically Naruto, being pretty pissed, actually started taking chakra from the Nine Tails. And just saying, Naruto hasn't talked to the Nine Tails or the Falcon for quite a while now, around a whole year. Naruto actually got all those techniques from Falcon like a year and a half ago. No, a year and a half in their training, but now it's been a year since he's actually been able to talk to them. Falcon's pretty sad that Naruto doesn't talk to them anymore, and she thinks that he's gone back to his old ways. Not his old ways. Like he thinks that she thinks that her words kind of impacted Naruto in a different way and kind of hurt him, because maybe he took them as that he was being too weak. He was too weak, and he needs to get strong on his own, because they're not going to help him unless he's strong enough or worthy enough. That's what she's thinking, but it's not true. Naruto just wants to prove himself that he's worthy to have these two, like, majestic, glorious tail beasts inside of him, and he's proud of it. He just wants to prove himself, and they've given him gifts, like different abilities to use: shadow release, bloody yeah, shadow release. I think I said, did I say lava release? No, ice release, and shadow release. And yeah, it is what it is. Anywho, now, just saying, Naruto chases after Deidara, and Kakashi says, "Hey, Sukome, can you handle this?" And basically Sukome is like, "Of course." And basically Chiyo stays back with Sukome, and basically they fight together, and they have the antidote. And the fight is a bit kind of similar to the Sakura fight, Sakura and Chiyo versus Sasori, but it's not fully similar. When Sasori was actually about to stab Chiyo, you know how Sakura got in the way. This time Sukome came in the way with her Susanoo, and she wasn't feeling anything, and she's like, "So I guess it's over, Sasori." And basically Sasori already used his third Kazekage puppet, and Chiyo and Sukome were actually really battle injured, especially Sukome. She's been taking a ton of damage, anywho, but she was healing at the same time, but still, she is really roughed up. Anywho, now, Sasori is like, "Well, I guess I've lost. But before I die, I guess you guys must know about Sasuke Uchiha, right?" And Sukome is like, "How do you know that name? Tell me, do you know him?" And basically, Sasori is like, "Well, I have a spy within Orochimaru's ones, so I'll give you the location where I usually meet up with him. Anywho, you can kill me now." And basically Sasori accepted his death, and basically Sukome just literally stabbed his heart with one of the Susanoo hand fingers, and basically just pulled out the heart. And of course, the puppets were given to what's his name, Kankuro, and just saying, Naruto, after using Donanto's chakra, basically actually stopped using it, realizing that he's enraged, and he's just taking it without thinking about it. And he gives it back, and basically Donanto's like, oh god damn it, I wanted to see a bit more how you could fight with my chakra, god damn. And basically Falcon's like, don't worry, Kurama. And just saying, Falcon's been kind of depressed for the past year, and basically Kurama could see this, and basically he keeps reassuring her that it's not true. Naruto hasn't it's not that Naruto doesn't like them. Naruto is just Naruto, basically. He has his own reasons, and Kurama understands. He doesn't understand the actual reason, but he understands that Naruto has his own reasons. For a second there, someone just walked into my house. I kind of was shook. Anywho, now Naruto saw Kakashi getting his Kami ready, and basically Kakashi told him, Naruto, move. And basically Naruto moved, and of course he still did the Kami, and this time it didn't take too much out of him, literally just a minimum amount, but still of course Deidara was able to dodge it last moment, and yeah, he escapes, leaves Gaara's body, and the end of the arc ends the same way. Anywho, during this time, while Naruto actually returned to the village, Team 10 was still under mission, and of course the fight against the Asuma, the fight against Akatsuki still went down. And yeah, now Naruto still went off to find the Sasuke, and this time Sai actually does join Team 7, and yeah, the same things happen there, except for that Naruto goes into a rampage. This time Naruto fights Orochimaru off literally in a good way, and the fight actually is changed quite a bit. Orochimaru actually uses all his techniques that he used against the third Hokage, except for the reanimation jutsu, but Naruto actually uses his ice release here to actually annihilate him, and he uses the ice avalanche, which actually barely misses. Literally, Orochimaru's he had to make himself slip to not get hit by the ice avalanche, and not only that, not only was he going to get frozen, but first he was going to get literally stabbed through his body, and then the ice avalanche would have expanded into a massive avalanche, or to that was literally like Todoroki's one, like I showed in yesterday's video. Yeah, and freeze him inside of it, and Naruto was just going to break in, just make Kabuto show them the hideout. Anywho, of course, now Orochimaru realized that Naruto's way too strong, and he escaped. But Sasuke, during this time, like I said, Sasuke has actually been training, and he actually learned Sage Mode. Yes, I have to actually not make a massive power creep, even though there will be a massive power creep after the war. That is the only reason why I want Sasuke and Naruto to be kind of on par, on the same level, kind of, not really on the same level, just a bit on the same level as for now. Anywho, now Naruto and Sasuke, meet, and Sasuke, that now he has Sage Mode. He actually goes into his Sage Mode straight away, and literally he tries to blitz Naruto, but Naruto was able to dodge it and literally punch him in the gut. But of course, he did nothing to Sasuke, and Sasuke was like, interesting, and turns into snakes, and basically a massive snake actually appears out of nowhere and wraps around Naruto, while Sasuke actually was able to transform behind him. But Sukome didn't allow this to happen for any longer, and basically she activated her Sharingan and basically punched Sasuke, and with her ultra human strength. And yes, Sasuke actually kind of went flying, and Sasuke's like, interesting, Sukome, you've gone stronger. And basically then he sees the Sharingan, and he's like, wait, what? And basically Sukome then says, what? Was so surprising. And basically he's like, you're a Uchiha. Sukome is like, so what if I am? You got a problem with them? Basically then Sasuke tries to blitz Sukome, but Naruto actually blocks it by actually killing the snake, and says, don't you even dare. And basically Sasuke's like, oh, I forgot, you two are freaking in love with each other, you disgust me. And just saying, Sakura still exists, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she does in Team 8, I'm pretty sure. Allow it, yeah, allow it, please. I'll say that Sakura still exists, that she's just a medical ninja, that she trained with Tsunade too, just that she's a full-fledged medical ninja, that she doesn't actually do things, ninja work. She only does medical ninjutsu things. Yeah, and she will be in the war. And just saying, she's still in love with Sasuke, and yeah, blah blah blah. That shit will still happen because Sarada needs to be alive. Anywho, in Boruto. Anyways, allow it, guys, please. I need some plot. I'm joking. I do have a plot. Anywho, Sasuke then retreats, seeing that Naruto, even without Sage Mode, even though he has Sage Mode, he realizes that Naruto is going to be a hard fight, and maybe he'll beat Naruto, might have a chance to beat him. That's why he realizes that he needs to train even harder, and maybe he should take the body enhancements that Orochimaru promised him to give. And he was wondering what they were for a full year, so he's like, maybe I should take them. Anywho, now, and Sasuke escapes and Naruto returns to the village, and in this 1 week Naruto actually just takes a rest because of all the stress that happened within the literally lapse of 2 weeks. Man was about to say 20 weeks, that's nearly half a year, my guy. What am I saying? Anywho, this is what happens when you're tired. Anyways, so Sasuke, Team 10 returns with Asuma's dead body, and the funeral still happens, and basically this time Naruto saw Shikamaru about to smoke, but Naruto uses his shadow possession jutsu, which Shikamaru wasn't aware of, and literally takes the cigarette and annihilates her, because the Naruto actually added fire release to it, so the cigarette literally burned to death, and basically Naruto froze it and literally destroyed. Anywho, Shikamaru was like, you see, I always get confused with the two names. Shikamaru was like, wait, what? Naruto? You're a Nara? And basically Naruto's like, no, it's just an ability I've learned. And basically he's like, impossible, and Naruto's like, just believe me, Shikamaru, you don't want to know right now. And basically Shikamaru's like, alright, whatever, let me smoke another one. And basically Naruto's like, don't you dare, or I'll kill you. And Shikamaru's like, who are you to boss me around, Naruto? And Naruto's like, Shikamaru, listen, you don't want to, I'm sure Asuma told you a secret, right? What was then? Basically Shikamaru's like, he told me who the real king was. And Naruto's like, you mean about Shogi? And basically Shikamaru's like, yeah. And basically Naruto's like, who is it then? And basically Shikamaru's like, it's the new generation, Naruto. And Naruto then says, so he told you to protect the new generation, right? The new generation of ninjas, that Konohama and his friends, right? And Shikamaru's like, yeah, dumb lord, he told me to protect them. And basically Naruto's like, how could you protect them if you can't even look after your own body? You're trying to start smoking at the age of 16. You're not even on the age yet, Shikamaru. Do you really want to die this young? And basically Shikamaru's like, Naruto, please, just leave me alone. And Naruto's like, how about we go back? How about we go get vengeance against the Akatsuki? After all, they deserve to die. They killed Asuma. They killed your sensei. And also, I need revenge myself. Not really revenge. I need to destroy them myself anyways. I don't want to get captured by them. And basically, Naruto says it's a win-win for you and me. I get rid of some threats to me, and you get rid of the pests that killed your sensei. How is it, Shikamaru? And Shikamaru's like, well, I'm not strong enough. And Naruto's like, you're not strong enough, is it? But you're smart. And they might have strength, but you have brains. And plus, you're already strong as it is. Don't downgrade yourself. You're strong enough to beat them. And basically, Shikamaru got Taku no Jutsu by Naruto. And I'm not good at Taku no Jutsu, so allow it. My one was really bad. And they go off, this time Team 7 and Team 10. And just saying, the new sensei of Team 7 will be Yamato, just like in my other wife. Yes, Yamato actually joins Team 7. Team 10. And they all go together to fight off the Akatsuki. It's actually the Akatsuki suppression team, which is just made by Tsunade. Team 10 and Team 7 put together. Team 8 wasn't put together with Team 7 and 10 because they are on different tiers. Anywho, they actually meet the Akatsuki members, the two that killed Asuma. Basically, the fight actually goes the same. This time, Sukome and Shikamaru and Choji go with Shikamaru. Well, go with Hidan, to that place. But this time, Sukome is actually behind Shikamaru because Shikamaru actually asked him to stay back, and Choji's like to Sukome, just listen to him, he'll be able to do it. And basically they stayed out of the forest even though Sukome was worried, but still Shikamaru only asked for 15 minutes, and if he's not back, he told them to come in and help him unless he's dead, and basically just kill or just somehow get rid of him. And basically Sukome's like, I'll give you 10 then, I don't want you to die. And basically Shikamaru said 10 is more than enough. And basically, of course, within these 10 minutes, Naruto, of course, was actually able to destroy Kakuzu easily. He's literally so strong, so much stronger than Kakuzu. It's literally a joke. My guy, Kakuzu and Naruto on two different tiers. Naruto is so much stronger than him, and now Kakuzu really stood no chance against Naruto from the very beginning. Even with his 5 hearts all out, Naruto literally destroyed them. Even with his Earth Grudge, really no way. Naruto literally annihilated him so easily. It wasn't even fun to watch. It was just torture for Kakuzu. And Kakuzu, right before he died, he saw Naruto one more time before Naruto literally annihilated him with his ice avalanche. And basically he saw the silhouette of the first Hokage, and he's like, you're just as strong as him. Just that I survived against him. I guess you're way stronger. And basically Naruto's like, who are you talking about? And basically Kakuzu's like, the first Hokage. And basically Naruto's like, so you believe I'm stronger than the first? And Kakuzu's like, indeed. And basically Naruto's like, I'll take that as a compliment. And goodbye, Kakuzu. You are a worthy opponent. And Kakuzu's like, I doubt that, but goodbye. And basically Kakuzu accepted his fate. He really had no other choice. Like, Naruto wasn't going to let him go. He couldn't run, he couldn't do anything, so he accepted it, and he allowed himself to get killed by a worthy opponent. Naruto in the end used the ice avalanche and basically destroyed the avalanche with the Rasen Shuriken, a blazing Rasen Shuriken. And yeah, that was the end of this arc. Anywho, now during this time, Sasuke still kills Orochimaru after getting his body enhancements, which were Hashirama cells. Yes, Hashirama cells, and Sasuke got Hashirama cells to increase the amount of a chakra he has, also to decrease the amount of strain his Sharingan takes on him. And just saying, he doesn't have the Mangekyo yet, but he's already strong enough to take on Itachi in his opinion, but it's not true. He hasn't even trained with wood release, he can barely use it, but still he thinks he's strong enough. Now he still forms Team Heavy, I'm pretty sure Team Heavy, yes, Team Heavy's formed. And now Sasuke goes to fight Itachi, and during this time Jiraiya actually finds out about Pain and the Akatsuki leader, and actually talks to Tsunade, but Naruto actually being able to sense Jiraiya, he wants to go greet him. And he actually, when he walked into the bar, he actually overheard the conversation between Tsunade and Jiraiya. And Naruto said, so you want to leave me out of this, right, Jiraiya sensei? And Jiraiya's like, so you overheard, Naruto? Felt your presence from a mile away. And Naruto's like, then why didn't you try to keep it secret? And Jiraiya's like, well, I was planning on telling you, but I guess. And just that was a lie. Jiraiya really didn't want to tell Naruto. He wasn't going to tell him. He was thinking about it, but then he's like, nah, in the end. Well, that's my opinion. But still, Naruto's like, nope, you're not going. And basically, Naruto's like, I am going. And Jiraiya's like, you're not going. And Naruto's like, we'll play rock, paper, scissors for it. And Jiraiya's like, no, we'll have a fight for it. And Naruto's like, we'll have a fight for it. And a fight commences between Naruto and Jiraiya, and this was right on the night before Jiraiya left. And Jiraiya actually went into Sage mode. Yes, Jiraiya uses Sage mode, and he begins the fight against Naruto. And of course Naruto was actually able to dodge most of the attacks from Jiraiya, even in Sage mode, because Naruto's actually strong as a Sage mode, as a Sage. And basically Jiraiya in the end was actually able to kind of get a good hit onto Naruto, but this is what Naruto wanted. And basically Naruto froze Jiraiya and basically said, well, this was a win for me, and Jiraiya actually broke out of the ice easily and tried to hit Naruto again, but Naruto actually took this opportunity to actually elbow him in the guts, and basically Naruto's like, oh, I guess I win, so I am going. And basically Jiraiya actually was actually put out, he was actually put out of his Sage mode, and he is what he is. Ma and Pa were kind of disappointed, but they see that Naruto is actually stronger than anyone here, and he has two tail beasts. They can see it, and they understand why Jiraiya would lose so easily to him, and he is what he is. Anywho, Naruto and Jiraiya actually head to Pain, but this time, since Naruto is a bit stronger than Jiraiya, like by a bit more, so Naruto would be able to actually help out quite a bit. So he'll be able to together they'll actually be able to take 4 of the paths out. Jiraiya was able to take the 3, barely, but it is what it is. Naruto and Jiraiya actually arrive at the Rain Village stealth. They use their stealth abilities, but still they get caught, and in the end the fight commences. But this time Pain will hold nothing back, because he can see that Naruto is not even using Sage mode like Jiraiya is, and he's more than confident enough to fight him off. And basically Nagato can feel that Naruto is pretty strong, and also he's the Ninetales Jinchuriki, and he's the one who took care of basically according to Deidara. I'm just saying Deidara now is dead because of the fight against Sasuke. According to Deidara, Naruto was about to kill him, and plus even Kakashi was nearly about to kill him, but still the one truly capable, Zetsu actually saw the fight against Hidan and Shikamaru and Naruto versus Kakuzu, and even Kakuzu gave up against Naruto. And remember, Kakuzu is actually one of the strongest members of the Akatsuki. If you think about it, he's been able to survive the fight against the first Hokage. I'm pretty sure he's pretty freaking strong. Not many people are able to freaking go and try to assassinate the first Hokage and come out of there alive. Even though they failed the mission, they come out of there alive. That is kind of mad, because if you try to go assassinate someone, I'm pretty sure they'll try to assassinate you back. Like, that's just common sense. Anyway, now, unless you're someone like Hashirama or Naruto, bro, you'd be like, hey, yo, my guy, have some coffee, let's have some tea, some crumpets, you know what I mean. Anywho, now, Naruto and Jiraiya actually have a way harder time against Pain, especially because they have no interlock on him, and Naruto and Jiraiya kind of get pummeled, especially because Naruto was caught off guard, and he really didn't understand anything about the Pains, and he wasn't really sure about the shade vision thing, and plus they kept dodging all his moves, and he actually got lasered once near the hip, and a bit of his hip was literally gone. Literally, some of the meat on his hip is gone, and he was really injured. And even Jiraiya was literally on the brink of death. But Naruto actually having the flying Raijin, and even him using the flying Raijin, he wasn't able to understand the Pains fully. But Jiraiya was, and he was trying to tell Naruto, but every time he tried, he always got attacked, and that's why Jiraiya was always on the brink of death. Was on the brink of death, and basically Naruto teleported them away. And just saying, Jiraiya and Naruto were still able to take out 3 paths, just like in the original that Jiraiya was able to. But this time Jiraiya and Naruto was a liability, and Naruto realized that, and he realized that even though he's stronger than Sage Mode Jiraiya, in perfect Sage Mode Jiraiya, Naruto needs to learn Sage Mode, because Sage Mode just gives him a faster reaction time and much faster adapting time, and plus he just increases everything. And Jiraiya tells Naruto to go train with in Mount Myoboku for the next few weeks while he recovers, because Naruto took less damage and basically he recovers much quicker, especially because he's a Uzumaki and everything. And Naruto still goes to Mount Myoboku, still trains in Sage Mode, and he's able to master it in the same amount of time. But by the time he actually returns, the leaf is completely gone. Jiraiya's dead. Jiraiya's dead. Yes, Jiraiya's dead. He got killed in the attack, and also a lot of other people. Tsuki was actually not dead, but she was actually literally on the brink of it. and she was getting healed by Shizune. Shizune actually survived, and this time Tsuki actually tried to protect Shizune instead of Shizune doing the opposite with Sakura. I'm not sure if whatever. Shizune died in the original, but then she got revived. But here I'll say that Tsuki nearly died, and she got revived. And even Kakashi, who was actually now literally a bit stronger than the Pain arc, but still Pain was able to kill him. Even Kakashi was dead. Yamato was in a mission with Sai and Anko like in the original, and Naruto was really pissed, and basically still here Naruto actually got the fight here went pretty similar, Naruto having a lot of intel, and until basically Naruto was stabbed, well of course, sorry, my bad, I got confused, the fight didn't go similar because of Naruto's abilities. Anywho, the fight begins with Naruto actually, of course, coming in front of Tsunade and destroying the Naraka path, and asking where's Kakashi if Kakashi Sensei is outside the village, and with Tsuki and with Jiraiya. And basically Tsunade basically shakes her head. Basically Naruto says, I understand. Alright. And Sukome, not Tsuki, sorry, Sukome. Anywho, now basically Naruto blitzes one of the pains, and then basically, you know, Lady Katsuyu, you know, Katsuyu tells Naruto that about the shade vision, and basically Naruto realizes that they all the one that he had to actually try to blitz was able to dodge it easily, and actually kick him in the chest, well, kick him in the guts, and literally roundhouse kick him back into the battlefield next to the Naraka path. And basically that was actually the Nintendo pain, and Naruto was like, you damn monsters, I'll kill you all. And basically what he did is he actually threw a Sun Shuriken. And something that they didn't know is about the expansion thing, and that happened as per normal. Of course, the human path saved the summoning one, and summoning one went into a rampage, which Naruto was actually able to summon his toads to fight them off. But in the end, Naruto destroyed the summoning one with actually his ice pillar. Yes, Naruto learned that from Sage Mode training, and yes, Naruto has been training secretly as well. Naruto has learned the ice pillar, and basically he literally stabbed through the summoning path. He literally stabbed through her, and she got annihilated, and she got frozen to death, and then the ice broke into, and she broke into pieces. Of course, the King of Hell path actually tried to gather the Naraka paths and the summoning paths parts, while both the absorbing one and the Tendo pain, you know, Diva path, were trying to fight off Naruto. But Naruto actually realized this, and basically what he did is that he actually teleported next to the Naraka path. And yes, Naruto, once he destroyed the Naraka path, he actually left the sealing formula on one of its parts, and basically literally kicked it in the face. And then what he did next is that he actually pulled its head, and literally what he did is that he swung him around into the air and then onto the ground, and basically Naruto looked at it and basically froze it, and then he looked at the the Diva path and the absorbing path, and basically what he did next is that he actually literally threw a vanishing Rasengan. Yes, Naruto has a vanishing Rasengan, but the of course the absorbing path didn't know about this, and basically he's like, he ran out of chakra, and basically as soon as he said that, well, he didn't say it, he just thought of it, and even the Diva path followed it, and saying that, oh, he must have run out of chakra. And as soon as they say that, or he says that, the absorbing one gets annihilated, destroyed, and basically the Diva path started. Interesting. And basically, of course, the Diva path was still able to kind of annihilate Naruto, because Naruto, even though he had all these abilities, the Tendo pain actually caught Naruto off guard, because Katsuyu wasn't able to tell Naruto about him straight away during their fights, and basically he got pulled towards him and literally stabbed in the chest, and basically the same thing happened, and basically Naruto's like, why are you doing this? And Pain still gives his speech just like in the original, and I'll roll it in right now thanks to words beyond fiction.
You asked me why I'm doing all this, but even if I told you why, I doubt very strongly that the knowledge would change anything at all. But let's say that I take the time to explain it to you. What do you think would happen then? My goal is to fulfill the dream even Jiraiya-sensei was unable to achieve. What I want is to create peace and bring about justice. Oh, I see. That is noble of you. That would be justice. However, what about my family? My friends? My village? They suffered the same fate as this village at the hands of you Hidden Leaf Ninja. How is it fair to let only you people preach about peace and justice? Once, the Land of Fire and the Hidden Leaf had grown too big. To protect their national interests, they forced feudal clans to wage war against each other, and profited from it. Otherwise, the people of the villages would have starved. As it happened, our little nation and its villages became the battlefield where the great nations waged their war. Each time they did, our nation was ravaged and laid to waste. After many such battles, the great nation stabilized, but our smaller nation suffered, and it barely recovered. You and I are both seeking the very same thing. We both want to achieve the peace that Jiraiya-sensei envisioned. You and I are the same. We're both motivated by our desire for peace and justice. The justice that I have delivered against the Leaf Village is no different from what you are trying to do to me. Everyone feels the same pain when losing something dear. You and I have both experienced that pain. You strive for your justice, and I strive for mine. We're both just ordinary men who have been driven to seek vengeance in the name of justice. And if one comes to call vengeance justice, such justice will only breed further vengeance and trigger a vicious cycle of hatred. Right now we live in such a cycle. I know the past and can foretell our future. It is the same as our history. So we believe that human beings simply cannot understand each other, and they never will. The shinobi world of ours is ruled by hatred, and hatred alone. So, Naruto, how would you confront this hatred in order to create peace? I want to know what your answer is.
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
So Naruto was about to give up. He was actually about to give up. For the first time, Naruto, the first time in his life, was about to give up in his dreams, everything, after saying no to pain, and was about to let him capture him, until he heard two voices. Two voices call out his name. Calling out his name, Naruto then looked deep inside of him, somewhere he hasn't looked inside for years, for a full year, and basically sees both Falcon and Kurama. They both smile at him. Naruto already has the key to the to Kurama's gate, so Naruto decides to let out Kurama, and Kurama then introduces himself as Kurama, of course, and basically Naruto says, I already know. And basically out of nowhere there was a figure, two figures instead of one, and they were both smiling at Naruto. Naruto then says, so you two must be my parents, right? And basically Naruto, and they nod, and basically Naruto goes to hug them, and then basically Naruto now says, I guess it really is time for me to say goodbye, right? And basically then Falcon said, no, Naruto, you should not be saying goodbye to your life or any of your dreams. We shall help you. Now, you shall work together. We shall work as Jinchuriki and Tail Beast. We are now, you, not we. You are now a perfect Jinchuriki. Naruto then looked perplexed. He was like, what's a perfect Jinchuriki? Then Kurama says, a Jinchuriki who is in perfect sync with our tail beast. Since you have two, it's kind of different for you. And basically Naruto says, alright then, let's try. And basically Naruto then says, but I do have an answer for you, Pain. And basically Pain's like, let's hear your answer, Naruto. After all, these are going to be your final words. And basically Naruto then says, even though I don't have an answer for your justice, I don't really have an answer, but it doesn't mean I'm going to give up on my dreams to allow your dreams to come true. And basically Pain's like, so are you saying that I should let go of my dreams? And Naruto's like, no, I shall continue your dream for you. And basically Pain was confused, and he was taken back from that. And basically Naruto actually used his shadow possession jutsu to actually get rid of the rods, and then basically stand up. And Pain could feel something, a pressure coming out of Naruto, and this is Falcon's pressure. And basically Naruto's like, are you ready, Falcon? And Falcon's like, yeah, of course. And basically Naruto actually then has shadows around him, and basically this is Falcon's little ability, and basically that's basically it for Falcon. And this is like Naruto, there's steam coming out of Naruto, but this steam is more like dark steam. And basically this is the steam that Falcon's perfect Jinchuriki form gives Naruto. And basically Naruto then says, now it's your turn, Kurama. And basically Naruto has literally the same KCM as basically, you know, Minato, just that he doesn't have the yin side, he has the yang side, but still he has a dark steam coming out of him. And Naruto now walks towards Pain. Pain tries to use an almighty push, but Naruto was unfazed by it. That just shows how much Naruto has grown, how much stronger he has grown, and that is thanks to Falcon. And basically then Naruto opens his eyes. After closing them, he opens them and says, you're not the real Pain, I shall find you. And basically then Naruto puts his hand on on Pain, the Diva Path's face, and basically puts it down, and basically punches in the gut once, and the Diva Path's out. Anywho, Naruto takes out the rods and then uses his Sage mode. Yes, Naruto is able to go into Sage mode. And just saying, Ma and Pa was still, Lord Fukasaku was still annihilated, just like in the original. And Naruto stabbed himself to find out where the true Pain's location is, and basically went to the Pain. And of course, in the end, Naruto understood everything. He understood what the cycle of hatred is, and he understood it in a better way. He has a better understanding of it, and it is what it is. And of course Nagato still got Takano Jutsu, and yes, Nagato has died, but he revived thousands of people who died. And Naruto, on his way back, he still wanted to thank the two-tailed beasts that have helped him all this time, and he wanted to apologize for ignoring them. He just wanted to prove them that he's worthy. And basically Falcon broke down, saying that it's her fault. She was too harsh on Naruto. Naruto was never weak, and basically Naruto's like, I never thought I was weak. I just wanted to prove myself to you guys, prove that I am a worthy Jinchuriki for you, Falcon, and you, Kurama. And basically Kurama smiles and goes to Falcon and says, hey, listen, Naruto was never, as I said, Naruto has his own reasons, and you should know that better than anyone, even me. After all, he is your reincarnation. And basically Falcon's like, I guess I'm more ignorant than you. And basically Kurama's like, what did you just say to me? And Falcon's like, what? It's just facts. What are you saying, fam? Anywho, now Falcon's gone back to her jokey mode. Anywho, now of course Naruto returns, but he actually faints. And of course in the end, Sukome and Kakashi were actually arrive, and Kakashi carries him, and Jiraiya was actually helping out Tsunade. Just saying, Tsunade actually still was in a coma, and he was worried about her, but still, when Naruto returned, he went towards him and greeted him, and basically Naruto was like, oh, so it's you, Jiraiya sensei, I guess you're back to you. And basically Jiraiya's like, so thanks to you, Naruto. you're the one who did this. And basically Naruto explained that he still met Nagato, and basically Conan decided to actually not come back to the village, and basically uh she went to bury her both Yahiko and Nagato. And Jiraiya was like, well, Conan's always been a kind soul, I guess she's always going to be with her friends till the end. And basically Naruto says, I just hope for the best for her. But during this time, Naruto actually was greeted by the villagers as the hero of the village, and basically everyone was ecstatic to see Naruto, the hero that saved them all by his ways. And Conan still thought that the only reason Conan didn't seal Nagato's eyes away or give them to Naruto or something was because she thought that her 6 billion paper balls would be more than enough to kill Toby, basically the true leader of the Akatsuki. But it didn't work because he had the Izanagi, and in the end, just saying, Itachi still was killed because of the same reason as in the original, because of his illness. And yeah, Sasuke joined the Akatsuki, and yes, he captured Killer Bee. And yeah, of course, Killer Bee wasn't really captured. Even though Sasuke had Sage Mode, Killer Bee was literally barely able to escape just by a little substitution jutsu, a cheeky one. And Sasuke really was too tired, and he was going blind anyway. That's the only reason he actually, well, he was not on the verge, like he's not fully blind, but he's already like a bit behind Itachi's level of blindness. But still, that blindness only comes after the 5 Kage summit. Of course, the Raikage asks, once the 5 Kage summit, because of what happened, and basically all the Kage gather, and the 6th Hokage would actually be Danzo. And this time Danzo takes his guards, but Naruto still wants to go because he doesn't want Sasuke, his basically best friend. He doesn't want him to die, and basically Sakura never goes there, so Tsuki actually goes with Naruto, same as Kakashi, Yamato, and Jiraiya. And Jiraiya actually stays back because there needs to be a strong person back in the village, and someone who can protect it anytime. And Jiraiya is the most capable right now after Naruto and Tsukuyomi and Kakashi. Well, to be honest, Jiraiya is there, and Jiraiya also wanted to say because his loved one's there in a coma, and he wants to look after her. Anywho, now Naruto then of course goes there, and by the time he actually arrives, Danzo's dead, and the 5 Kage summit still got attacked just like in the original. And Naruto told Sasuke that if they now fight, they're both sages, and they're both gonna die. And this time it's not as far-fetched as in the original. It could happen, they could both die, but of course Obito comes in to the rescue and takes Sasuke away. And now basically Naruto Obito actually declares war on the 5 Kage, on the 5 nations for the 2 remaining tail beasts. And Sasuke still gains his Mangekyo Sharingan, but this time he's not part of the Akatsuki anymore. He fulfilled his dreams and everything, and now that he has the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, he doesn't really have anything else remaining to do. But it is what it is. Now Naruto is Naruto, who's actually sent to he wasn't actually sent anywhere. Naruto's more than capable enough to protect himself, and he's actually the strongest in the world right now, especially because Naruto has actually declared that he doesn't only have the one tail beast, but he has 2. And he only told this to Tsunade, who and the Raikage, and the Raikage didn't believe them. The Raikage and Tsunade and Jiraiya didn't believe him. Even Tsukuyomi and Kakashi, basically then Naruto said, alright, all of yous, you gotta be in contact. And basically they're like, what do you mean? And basically Naruto's a physical contact, just hold each other's shoulders, and they all do. And basically Naruto just holds Tsukuyomi's hand, and basically they all go into Naruto's mindscape, and basically they see one woman, and Tsukuyomi's like, Naruto, who's this? And basically Naruto's like, don't worry, Tsukuyomi. And basically Falcon goes to Tsukuyomi and says, thank you for taking care of Naruto. And basically Naruto's like, hey, listen, no, it still hasn't happened. And basically Naruto introduces them, and basically the Naruto says, huh? What are all these people doing here, Naruto? And Naruto then says, come on, I'm sorry to disturb your slumber, but these men didn't believe that you had a sister, an older sister, and she's the tail beast, and she's an ancient tail beast, and she's an overpowered tail beast. She's even stronger than you. And basically Chroma's like stronger than me, and then Falcon's like, am I not? And not Chroma's like, yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, so like you know, man just had a dream that I was stronger than you, and that like, so that's why I got confused. So don't get me wrong, you are the strongest out of all of us, like you gotta calm down and that. And basically A was like, B never told me this, and basically and Kurama then said, well, we tail beasts were never meant to tell you humans. The only reason Naruto actually found out is because Falcon decided, well, elder sister decided to choose him out of all people. She believed he is the worthy one to be her reincarnation. And basically Naruto said, yeah, that's what they said, but hey, it's just luck. Anywho, Naruto now is actually in the war, and this time he's actually with Killer B, and of course they're roaming around everywhere, and Naruto still does his you know, clone thing, and Sukome actually becomes a medical ninja because she is needed in the medical ninjutsu area. And just saying, Sakura is actually more than capable enough to be a ninja in the front lines, just like in the original, and she does have the one on the ceiling jutsu too, and she's kind of underrated here. Of course Naruto knows her as well. She's basically Sukome's best friend, and basically Sukome is really happy to have her as a friend. But here's what he is now. Naruto and you know, Killer B actually do still come up against Itachi and Nagato, and basically that still ends up the same. How Itachi still gave Naruto the gift of the you know, Shisui's eyes. Yes, that still happened. Not eyes. Anywho, now Naruto, basically Itachi still goes off with to Kabuto, and basically Sasuke joins him, and that still happened. And the war was pretty similar until basically the Ten Tails thing, and of course the Tail Beast thing, since basically all the Tail Beasts actually became one. Well, not one, they were all happy to give their power to Naruto. Naruto had all the Tail Beast strength, even though Falcon gave them to him easily, but I guess this is a way better way. Instead of Falcon giving them to him, he earned them in a fair and square way, and basically he still met all the Jinchurikin. They were all proud of Naruto for being so strong at such a young age, and plus being able to having the power to stop the masked man, the Akatsuki. And of course they wish they were alive to help him, but of course they can't, and basically Naruto apologizes that he couldn't help them earlier, but he'll try to at least free their friends, Tail Beasts, and basically he promises that he'll avenge them by basically bringing world peace and bringing the nations together. And they're all happy about this, because they actually like the idea of having peace instead of having to go into war every once in a while. Like, they don't really like war. All of the Jinchuriki were like Son Goku. Well, you know, Son Goku's Jinchuriki really didn't like war either. Like, he didn't even like fighting. My guy, he was living in a freaking cottage, fam, the forest. The only reason he fought is because he was about to get killed by Kisame, but of course he still got captured. Anywho, now whatever. Of course Naruto still ends up fighting the Ten Tails, and that fight goes not at all similar, because Falcon actually gives all her power to Naruto, and Naruto gets an immense power boost. And basically Naruto was actually able to create 9 Truth Seeker orbs, just that Obito never really had them, but still Obito became the Ten Tails Jinchuriki here, and the fight against the Ten Tails was actually the Ten Tails Jinchuriki was pretty much the same with Sasuke and Naruto, but this time Sukome actually joined in, and she was actually a real big help, because Sukome's you know, Sukome's katana was actually a replica of the Totsuka blade. It was actually the twin sword of the Totsuka blade, and basically they were trying to seal away the Ten Tails, but it wasn't working. Even though Sukome, all of Team 7 was in it, and they were all literally going try hard against Obito, it wasn't working, but they were able Naruto was able to Taka no Jutsu Obito to their side, but still in the end Obito got betrayed. Obito would try to revive everyone in the who died, and basically in the end he failed, because Zetsu made him revive Madara, and basically Madara Naruto's Tail Beast. But this time Naruto wasn't actually dead. For some reason Naruto actually just fainted because he still has tail beast inside of him. Falcon, of course, Gar still came in to save him, and Sukome, who thought Naruto was dead because his heartbeat literally stopped. But that's the only reason that happened is because he's actually in a different dimension with the Sage of Six Paths, Hagoromo tells Naruto that he's not dead, of course, because he still has Falcon. And Falcon actually teleported there and said, "Hey, father, how you doing?" And basically, Hagoromo says, "So you've chosen young Naruto. How ironic that you would choose the one that Ashura chose." And basically, Falcon's that I didn't really know. I just chose him because I just knew he was the one. And basically, Ashura basically chose Naruto because he believed that Naruto would be the child of prophecy too. But they really, if Ashura didn't even know the existence of, Falcon. Falcon didn't, but Falcon never knew that. Never really knew that Ashura would choose Naruto. She just chose Naruto because she had liking to him. But anywho, Naruto still got the Rikudo Senin or something, whatever, the 6-path Sage mode, and in the end they were still able, Naruto and Sasuke still come back with the Rinne Sharingans and bloody 6-path Sage mode. And just saying, Naruto already had the True Seeker orbs, so what he gets instead of them is that he gets another power boost. Basically, what he actually gets is that he gets to have the Rinnegan, or to give the Rinnegan to someone. And basically Naruto says, how about you allow me to take the rest of the power, 6-path Sage power that you would have gave me to unlock the True Seeker orbs, to give to someone else. And basically Hagoromo's that it's a lot of power, Naruto. Even if you gave it to Uchiha, and Uchiha would have been able to unlock both eternal Monkey Sharingans, and you'd still have enough left over. And basically Naruto's like, alright, then I'll share with 3 people. And basically he's like, what? And basically Naruto already had 3 people he had in mind to share it with, and he actually had this power in his hands. And basically, of course, he still saves Guy, but he actually goes to Sukome, not Tsuki, and basically covers her eyes, and basically Sukome opens her eyes to feel the different power. And Sukome has both the Eternal Monkey Sharingans, and Naruto's like, and basically Sukome's like, what did you do? And Naruto's like, explain after the war, after we win, of course. And Sukome's like, alright. And basically then he went to Kakashi, and basically he gave Kakashi the 6-path Sage mode power. And basically he, of course, Obito, who was on their side, Obito actually took his eye out and gave it back to Kakashi, and Kakashi's like, but why not Obito? And basically Kakashi implanted it into himself, and basically Naruto actually regenerated the eye for Obito and gave him the Sage of 6-path powers that he had remaining. And he's like, well, I shared it with the 3 people I wanted to, and anywho, I'll be taking this eye. And basically Obito's like, what the hell, why Naruto? And basically he implanted it into Kakashi and basically regenerated the eye, and basically Tsuki just healed the eyes. And basically they were like, what's going on, why are you doing this? And Naruto's like, now you both have all 3 of you have eternal Monkey Sharingans. It's a gift from the Sage of 6-paths, of course. And basically the Sage of 6-paths like, oh Naruto, you're not meant to be abusing the power I gave you, you stupid little boy. And basically Falcon was just enjoying it. She's like, yo lol, this one's a baller. And basically, yeah, whatever. Oh shit, I forgot to, oh fuck, I didn't fix my books for tomorrow. I have to do that after this. Anywho, of course the war actually keeps going similarly to the original, but of course the Kaguya fight is literally a completely different thing. Kaguya gets revived, and Naruto, Sukome, Sasuke, and Obito and Kakashi actually were the ones to remain, just like in the original, just that this time Sakura got replaced by Sukome. And the fight actually goes exactly the same until the part of Sasuke, Sasuke being trapped and Obito trying to bring him back. Obito actually was able to do it easily because both Obito and Kakashi had to work together to do it, to open a big portal for Sasuke to just walk in without having to rush. And basically Sukome, Sasuke, Obito, and Kakashi was stuck in one dimension. But now, out of nowhere, Naruto actually fell out of the sky, and basically it's because Kaguya realized that they're all in the other dimension and she wanted to end them all together. But of course Naruto and Sasuke were put under the gravitational force like everyone else, and basically the Kaguya shot the two things, and basically Naruto basically, since both both Kakashi and Obito had the Kamui, and they both used it to Kamui away, and basically Sukome came in with a perfect Susanoo, and basically Sasuke, the gravitational force was actually over, and Sasuke took this opportunity to actually use a perfect Susanoo too. Same as Kakashi and Obito, and Naruto was like, alright, then I'll use my Chroma Avatar. And of course Kaguya got pretty pissed and she let out her rabbit tail beast, whatever the frick that is. Yeah, so that thing happened, and in the end of course Kaguya got sealed away because of both Kakashi and Obito working together to actually Kamui away her two arms, and then Sukome being able to literally kick and punch her into the air, and Naruto and Sasuke being able to seal her away. Of course Sasuke this time, he had revolutionary plans, but basically after seeing how Naruto basically, you know, how Naruto would save anyone, and this time he actually changed his mind and is like, I understand, Naruto, I understand your ideals and everything. I believe that there is no need of fighting. I will just follow your path and try to be like you, Naruto. I believe that we've been through the same pain. Of course, they both have that little motivational speech to talk with each other, saying that they're like brothers, that they went through pretty much the exact same pain, and they've both grown stronger over this rivalry. And yeah, of course they do the rat seal, you know, the rat hand sign, and basically they release the eternal the infinite Tsukuyomi, and this is it. Yes, that's going to be it for with Naruto had an ancient tail beast part 3. And of course this series might go into Boruto because I love it, and yeah, it was an amazing series to make. Only 3 parts is the first series I implemented on. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed it. Please stay safe. This was the King of Weebs, and also before I leave, subscribe to Kazama and Ratreet and Miniman123. Follow Shokin on Instagram, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and also join my Discord server. All links are in the description below. And also, if you want 5% off of your next $49, if you spend more than $49 on Beautiful Halo, just use the code meme. And if you want 10% off when you spend, you can get 10% off with the same code meme if you spend over $99. Anywho, thank you for Beautiful Halo for sponsoring me, and if you do buy some merch, send me pictures on DMs on Instagram or something, or just DM me on the on Discord. I'm sexy woman, hashtag, I'm pretty much the TKOW on my Discord server. You can find me there. Anywho, hope you all enjoyed it. My ducklings, you're dismissed, and peace.